Hey you guys, how's it going? So today I'll be doing a review over the 2017 Mazda CX-9. Now this was Mazda's this is Mazda's last vehicle to get the Kodo design and the new Skyactiv treatment. And with the 2017, there's actually not a lot that changed from 16. Literally there's only one change made, and that was to the Touring trim level, which is actually a trim level below this, and it got standard automatic braking. Other than that, from 16 to 17, the cars have not changed. So this one in particular is going to be the Grand Touring. I'm going to go over everything, that way you guys know. The only differences between this and the Signature are going to be lavishing features. So the Signature is the one you see on all the commercials with the rosewood trim, the auburn Napa leather, everything like that. And that's really the only extra things you're going to get on top of this. But as far as equipment and technology, it's going to be exactly the same. So with the Grand Touring, it's going to be right at 40 grand, and you get a ton of features for the money. So to start off, guys, this is going to be Mazda's Machine Gray, which was a color they debuted on the CX-9. So let me give you guys a closer look. So that paint looks really, really good. You are going to get your standard 20-inch wheels right here. You do get this kind of aluminum chrome strip running across the bottom right over here, and you're going to get another aluminum strip which is going to run on the bottom of the bumper over here. So as you can see, along the bottom there's that chrome strip that just runs all along the bottom. So you do get that on the Grand Touring. And then of course they all have that big kind of menacing grille, which looks absolutely incredible. Guys, I'm gonna go ahead and start it up. You do have a standard Mazda key, so this is gonna have your lock, your unlock, your trunk release, and then your alarm at the very bottom. And on the back is a little tab, so if the battery on the car died, or if the battery on the key died, there's an actual key. That way you can unlock the door, get your personal belongings out, or pop the hood. That way you can jump the car. So multiple ways you can get into the car. You can obviously just use your key, or you can use the buttons on the door, which is Mazda's smart key access. So when you hit this button, the one beep is going to mean it's locked, and the two beeps mean it's unlocked. And this is going to be the sand interior. As you can kind of see here, actually looks really, really good. One of the first things you're going to notice, guys, when you open the door is the actual door. So the door is a beautiful kind of mix of things. So you have your brushed aluminum coming right across here. Good look at the aluminum right there, but it's got that brushed accent coming along here. And it looks beautiful. And to give you a good idea of how kind of thick that piece is, kind of see right there. Other than that, you even have soft touch kind of plastic right up here, so this is like soft touch all up here. You're gonna have this kind of thick, I don't know if that's real wood, but it's gonna be like a thick piano black piece right here, which is gonna have all of your window controls, your door locks, your exterior mirrors. You have your door handle, which has got a nice chrome accent up top, and then all your stitching running across there. And then of course your soft padding right here, which is super nice and plush. This does have a standard Bose sound system. So as you can see here, you have your Bose sound system, which has got the nice chrome aluminum accent on it. And then of course your cubby space in the door. But another thing you notice right off the back is these switches. They're so bright, and they're just pure aluminum right there. So that is actually really, really impressive, and you can get a good look at how those look. That's obviously going to be used to control your seats, and then of course you have memory seats, 2 different settings. Your perforated leather, just going to run all across the middle of the seat, right up here. And then if you come down a little bit, you are going to have your contrast stitching going across the seats as well. And just the grain of leather is actually really good quality, so you know, it's real plush. It's not like kind of too like synthetic soft. I mean, obviously it is real leather, but it's got a real good thickness to it. It feels really, really good. So we'll go ahead and hop in, you guys, kind of check out the interior a little bit more. And one thing I want to show you guys first is just listen how quiet this cabin is. So this is Mazda's quietest car that they've ever built, and it definitely shows. And you can even hear it when you shut the door, how solid that door sounds. No rattles, no creaks. It's just like a vault. All you hear is just like the wind rushing out of the car, and then just it's pretty impressive. But once you do shut the door, I love the way this kind of aluminum accent piece kind of folds right into with the vents right there. One thing I don't like is this like massive gap which comes along here. If they would have closed that up a little bit, it would have created a really, really nice look right there. You do have all of your buttons right here. So these buttons are going to control all of your safety features, which I'll actually go into more detail in just a second. And there's another interior look on the cabin, which looks gorgeous. And to start the car, guys, super simple. All you do is put your foot in the brake. That light will turn green, and I'll go ahead and press that. Everything turns on. And now the steering wheel, I'm a huge sucker for steering wheels, and like just real good quality steering wheels, because I mean that's like the #1 thing you're touching all the time. And so like the leather, it's a real good grain. It's got this really, really impressive stitching going across it, which runs all along the side here. And you have this nice aluminum piece at the bottom. And of course your chrome accents coming across the middle, chrome accents over here, chrome accents over here. And then you're gonna have your Bluetooth controls. So you have your voice command, your volume, your previous, next, info button, phone controls, and then over here to the right, you're gonna have your cruise control settings and your radar cruise control, which I will also get to in just a moment. But to start off, you have really crisp gauges. So you're going to have your tach to the left, your speedometer right in the middle, and then to the right, you're going to have a full digital display. And then to touch back on that info button, if you actually hit that, that'll toggle through everything right there. So right there is a screen of the car, which kind of shows you a lot of your safety features. If you hit it again, it'll take you to a compass, your A trip monitor, B trip monitor, service, and then back to the screen right here. And so this screen, it just does things like, so like if you open your door, it'll show you that your door's open. The lines on the outside of the car right there, once they're completely lit up white, so once they're completely filled in white, that's going to be your lane keep assist, which does come standard on this car. And once you start to drift out of your lane, the car will actually apply a tiny bit of torque, and it will just barely nudge you back into your lane. It'll kind of ping pong you about 3 times before the vehicle tells you to grab back hold of the steering wheel, because it's not like self-driving car good yet, but you know, technology's working its way out there. And then with the radar cruise control, which was this button right here, if you actually hit that, so if I go ahead and hit mode, turn that on, you'll see these boxes come up. And then when I hit these boxes, you can adjust to where you're 1 car length, 2 car lengths, 3 car lengths, or 4 car lengths behind the car in front of you. And then once you're actually behind a car, it will show the car, and then it'll show the car moving closer, depending on how close or how far you are away from that car. And then to turn it off, there's a little off button right here. So you just hit off, and it all goes away. Super simple. And then it'll also show you what speed you have it set on. So if you have your cruise control set to 80, it'll set 80 right there. And then the monitors will monitor 2 car lengths back. So if a car pulls in front of you, it'll actually stay, let's say if we had it to 2 car lengths, it'll stay 2 car lengths back, slow down to whatever speed that is. Once the car in front of you moves, the car will automatically speed back up to resume the 80 miles per hour that you had set. Other than that, the gauges look really nice. They're real crisp, so at night it's got a real nice, you know, soft white glow. And back here you're gonna have, of course, automatic headlights. So if you flip it up right here, automatic headlights, your fog lights are right here. And of course, your high beams, there we go. So your high beams are right there, which you can turn on and off. You have automatic rain sensing windshield wipers, so if you flick it down 1 to auto, that's your rain sensing. So if you hit a puddle, anything like that, splashes on your window, it'll automatically do its thing, and you can adjust the sensitivity level right here. And of course your rear wipers. And now back to this cluster of buttons. So this is actually going to correlate with 2 screens. This screen and then your heads-up display, which if you can see, there's your heads-up display right there. And these are going to be all of your safety features. So Mazda wants you to have full control of the vehicle if you want it. So if you wanted to turn every single nanny on this car off, you can. So you're going to have your lane keep. So if I hit my lane keep, it's going to make those lines on the outside of the car disappear, indicating that your lane keep is off. And if I hit the button again, it turns back on. You do have your blind spot. It's a blind spot monitor. So as soon as you get your blind spot monitors, it'll show somewhere. Oh, sorry, it lights up right there, but there we go. So that'll tell you that your blind spot's off, your parking sensors, traction control, tire pressure, and then your power lift gate. And now the heads-up display, it shows you basically everything that the LCD screen showed you, but it kind of stays more in your line of sight. So right now it just has 0 miles per hour, and then it has the cruise control up. But if I hit off, cruise control will disappear. But the other thing that this will show you, which is really cool, it shows you all of your navigation. So when you're driving, it'll tell you what street's coming up, if you need to take a left, if you need to take a right. It shows you what the speed limit is on whatever road you're on. And it'll also show you if there's people in your blind spot. So it'll show little kind of sound waves. It looks like sound waves, but it'll show those on the left or right side of the screen. And that'll indicate if there's someone in your blind spot. So lots of things it shows up there. It's pretty cool, actually. And you can turn it completely off, which is nice. So if you don't want it, it's too distracting for you, you can turn it off. Now to the center console here, guys, to start off, this whole dash right here, it's all soft touch plastic, which is actually really impressive. So if I go to this right here, you know, it's got some good give to it. It's really, really soft, pretty impressive. Which is nice because here in Texas it gets so hot, so you don't have to worry about your dash cracking or anything like that. You do have a touch screen right here, so if I reach up and touch it, it's a touch screen. I can kind of do whatever I want with it in that sense. But once you go above 6 miles an hour, it disables the touch function, at which point you go fully reliant on this, which is their kind of control center. So it's kind of like a BMW iDrive sort of setup. Really simple. You turn it and then select, click down, or you can just bump left, bump right. You also have your correlating buttons, so your home screen, your music, navigation, back button, and your favorites, which will save things like your presets to your radio stations, your favorite people to call, and your favorite navigation spots. Your volume control is separate, and then you click it one time to mute. Your parking brake is fully electronic now, so you don't have a clutch or anything down here. You just pull that, and then your brake's on. And to turn it off, all you have to do is put your foot in the brake and push that down. Turns right off. And if we move up a little bit, you are going to have your 6-speed automatic transmission with actual gears. So once you put that in reverse, you do have a standard backup camera, which will come up with guidance lines and parking sensors. So you can see your parking sensors right there. It doesn't have the kind of turn features. So if you turn the steering wheel, it's not going to turn with you. And then once you put it back in park, it goes right away. You do have a sport mode here, which it's real simple. So all you do is push up, and once you do that, it will show sport over here to the left. Once you push down, that turns off, and you can do that anytime while you're driving. All it does is it keeps the RPMs up a little higher. That way you have more access to your horsepower. I think this makes peak horsepower like 5,500 RPMs, but it actually makes peak torque at around 1,700 RPM, which I'll get to in a second. Right behind there you have storage space, so you have real deep storage space. I can almost fit like my whole hand in there, so it's pretty deep. Your dual zone climate control, very easy to work. If you just turn this dial, it'll automatically go to a different setting. Your heated seats, which right now mine are like on saute, it's like super hot, so let me actually turn those off. 3 stages. And if you move up, you're gonna have your chrome accents going along the vents, and then you have this kind of nice aluminum accent, which is gonna run all along the side here, which looks really nice. Right up top, you do have your, oops, hit the mirror there, but you do have your Bose speakers right there. So you have your tweeters in that one, you have a speaker right behind here, and then you have another speaker right over here, which has your tweeter right in the middle as well. Another thing to point out, so let me kind of see if I can show you this here, but you have these kind of knee pads which run all along the side here, which are covered in like real nice leather. So that way, because me, I'm like right at 6 feet, and the way this cabin's designed, it's almost like a cockpit design, so you feel real kind of in the cabin. And my knee rests right here, it's just really soft, it's really neat. So if I do, like, you know, go to the gas, anything like that, which is gas pedals right here, your knee just kind of automatically rests right there. It has it on the driver and the passenger side, which is really nice. And then over here, you are going to have a 12 volt, which is kind of in a weird spot, but you have a 12 volt outlet down there as well. And right here in the center console, guys, your cup holders, and then your extra storage space here, which is also a nice soft touch leather right here. You have your USB, auxiliary, SD card, which is only really going to hold your navigation chip, and then decent amount of storage space right in there. One thing I do want to point out as well, and this just goes to the fact that Mazda wanted to make this the quietest car they could. So each window is going to have double pane windows. So let me see if I can actually give you a good look at what that looks like, but it's going to be a little tough. I can try. Nope, don't think this is gonna work. But you do have double pane windows in here, which you can kind of see. You can kind of see the two lines right there. And there's a filament inside which works as like a sound deadening, and it just keeps everything really quiet. So when you shut the windows, it's just really quiet. It's really nice. It's very, very impressive how quiet they made this car. Up here, you're gonna have your home link. So you have your home link, auto dimming, mirror, everything like that. Your sunglass holder, which is nicely padded. That way, it's not gonna scratch your sunglasses. You have your moonroof right here. So it doesn't have full panoramic. But you do have your moonroof up here. Your interior lighting, which does have LED light, so at night it's very bright. And you have this kind of ambient spotlight here, so at night this will actually shine in the center console and makes like a real nice spotlight at night, which looks really cool. And guys, I'm gonna go ahead and hop in the back and I'll show you guys how the back seat wing is. Another thing, guys, you do have a sunscreen shade right back here in the back, which comes standard on the Grand Touring. All I do is pull that little tab, it goes right away. Now in the back, you do have 4 storage pockets, so you have 2 shallow ones on each side, and then 2 deep ones, which are going to be obviously the ones right here in the back. You're going to have your rear vents, which automatically syncs up to the front, but if you hit any button, it'll automatically, you know, go to whatever you want to set it to back here. Another thing is you do have vents on the floor, so there's vents right down there. I don't know if you can get a good look, but there's vents right down here, and those are going to be vents to like kind of cool your feet off, everything like that. I'll go ahead and hop in. You guys can see how much room is back here. So I'm right at 6 feet tall, and this is about how much room I have. So you have a little cutout in the back of the seat, which gives you a little bit more space. So right now I'm about here, but you can pull the seats backwards. So there's a bar under here. And once I go back, then I've got like that much room, if that gives you a good idea. And then I can still put my feet under here. It's actually really, really comfortable. This, you do have an armrest here, which has your cup holders, and if you hit this little switch, it's got more storage space in there, and then 2 amp USBs right in there as well. So as far as third row, show you guys how to get back there, but easiest way is this little handle right back here. So once you pull that handle, it'll automatically go all the way forward, and it goes pretty far forward. So as you can see here, you can definitely access the back pretty easily. And if I put my foot in there, that's about how much room you have to get in. If I pull the seats up, go ahead and hop back here. Ugh. So pretty decent. I mean, granted the seat's not pulled all the way back, but if it were, I would probably have like that much room back here, which it's decent. I mean, this isn't like a Tahoe, you know, Explorer size vehicle. It's a little bit smaller. They consider it just like a big crossover with, you know, your additional third row use that you wouldn't really use all the time, but you would use it if you needed it in a pinch. You do have your cup holders back here as well, and you do have speakers back here as well. Alright, go ahead and hop out. Now I'm going to go ahead and open the trunk for you guys so you guys can take a look. But there's a good rear view of the car. The rear is definitely a lot more simplistic than the front. So you do have that chrome accent coming along the bottom, which is specific to the Grand Touring, that big chrome piece going right in the middle. And then these are full LED lights, which I will turn on in just a second so you guys can take a look. Your dual exhaust at the bottom, rear wiper, and of course the biggest thing for a lot of people, automatic liftgate. So we do have the floor mats back here, so actually I'll leave them here, that way you guys can get a good look at how much space is back here. So this is about how much space you're going to get. You do have a real deep cubby right back here, so if I pull this, you've got a super deep cubby down there. Just, you can fit like a whole gallon of milk in there. And of course you have the same thing on the other side, right over here. You have a little 12-volt down here that you can use, and this little hook here, which is going to be kind of like a cargo cover that you can set right there. And now if I lift this up right here is a little tab. If I pull that, you have another area of space, so you can actually pull this whole thing out. And that way you have more depth with the rear seats up. I'm sorry, with the third row up. And then underneath that, you're going to have your full-size spare, and then your Bose subwoofer, and then your jack and everything like that. And then to fold the seats down, it's real easy. This little handle here, you pull it once, so if the headrests were up and you just wanted the headrest down, oops, you just wanted the headrest down, you just pull that once, it'd fold those down, and then pull it a little bit harder and push forward, and then it'll fold those seats down. And of course you do have hooks, so you have hooks right over here for nets, everything like that, and you can fold this row flat, which I will demonstrate for you guys. And that's about how much room you'd have. I didn't fold that left one flat, but you can see right over here you would have all of this room, which is really nice. You can also do height adjustment on here, so let's say if that was too high, if you're a little bit shorter, you just pull this down, hold this button. That'll save your spot, and then next time you open it, it goes right to that spot, which is really nice. Guys, I'm gonna go ahead and turn on the lights on the car. That way you guys can get a good look at how it looks. So here's gonna be your daytime running lights during the day. Down here you are going to have your fog lamps, which are 100% LEDs. That's why they're so small, but at night they are actually really, really bright. I'll come around to the back, you guys can check out the rear lights. Go. Now, last thing I want to touch on, you guys, is the biggest thing that everyone asks about this car, which is the motor. So with this motor, this was Mazda's first turbocharged version of their Sky Active motors. And basically, to sum up Sky Active, it's going to be a compression thing. So the normal Sky Active motor has about a 14-to-1 compression on a gas motor in Europe. In the US, they lowered it to a 13-to-1 compression. That way we can run it off of regular 87 octane. But with this, they were actually able to put a turbocharger on it with still having a 10-to-1 compression, which is actually pretty high for a turbo motor. And because of that high compression, because of the way this engine is designed, this makes a ton of torque. So even though it's just a 4-cylinder, you're putting out torque close to like a, some V8s out there. And engine bay is real clean. The motor actually sits really low in the engine bay, so the center of gravity, everything like that on this car is extremely impressive. But so with this motor, guys, you're making about 227 horsepower on just 87 octane, which you can run this on 87 octane. So I'll give you a good look here. Probably a little too dark. There we go. So right there you're making about 227 horsepower, but you're making 310 pound-feet of torque. So that's a huge jump from horsepower to torque. And that torque number is what's going to give you that big push. If you put premium gas into it, it bumps it up to 250 horsepower, but it still stays at the same 310 torque. Now, what Mazda did, and I'll actually put a link in the description below, so if you guys look in the description box below, there will be a link to an article that I personally wrote that will actually describe more about the torque figures, why the torque figures are more desirable when you're looking at this class of vehicle, and I have it compared to every single competition vehicle. But you guys can take a look at that if you want a lot more nitty-gritty details on those kind of specs. But as is, it drives really well. It's also one of the lightest vehicles in its class, and just the fact that you're getting this much innovation and technology, for right at 40 grand is pretty impressive. Other than that, it's an absolutely beautiful and stunning car. Extremely safe, has all the safety features you would probably ever want in a family car. And of course, being a Mazda, it drives incredibly well. So that's going to be it as far as my review over the 2017 CX-9. If you guys want to see any more videos, be sure to subscribe to my channel. And if you guys want to see any other reviews, be sure to click the video to the right. And you guys enjoy. Thank you all so much. Bye.